Well, apparently there is not a critic in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, when I come out here to face you, I hope you don't expect me to do anything or to say anything that, as I said before, I hope you don't Just a minute, please. See, there is a doctor in the house. Somebody's screaming. Is she in your party?
Why, no.
Seem to be alone.
Is there a doctor in the house?
Did you call a doctor?
We'll have a doctor here in a minute.
What
We'll
are
have a
you
doctor
doing?
here in 1 minute for you. Don't worry. You're going to be all right. No trouble at all.
Oh,
Now,
really?
just relax. You'll feel much better outside.
Dr. Alexander in 108, Mr. Costello. Dr. Alexander.
Wait, I'm Dr. Alexander.
You who?
I'm Dr. Alexander.
But you're ill. You fainted.
Don't be silly. I'm not ill. I never fainted in my life.
I saw you faint.
Saw me fall asleep.
Fall asleep?
Then when you picked me up, I didn't like to make a scene.
Oh, you mean you fell asleep at my blade?
I'm afraid I did.
Margaret.
Terrible.
Mr. Castillo. The lady dropped her purse. Oh.
So delightful.
The best first act curtain I've seen in years. Glad you liked it, sir.
Yes, this is the Castillo residence. What place? Chicago. Who's calling, operator? Oh, Miss Benson. Just hold the line, please. I'll try and get Mr. Castillo.
I've been producing his plays for 5 years. This is the biggest yet, Killer, the very biggest.
I'm going to make a 10-week ticket buy, ain't I? John, some more wine for Mr. Tiller.
Praise the master and you praise the man.
Oh, Mr. Hastings, Theodore has a wonderful idea for a play for you to do.
Yes, you see, it opens in heaven.
Well, don't bother to tell me where it ends.
You know, you've been haunting me.
My dear child, I haven't seen you in months.
Oh, but I've seen you. Well, not really, I mean. I've been thinking about you.
Oh, that's a bad sign.
I can't get you out of my mind.
Well, I've been thinking about you, too.
Oh, no, you haven't. You've been too busy. Tell me about your place in the country.
What?
Oh, please, Andre, tell me all about it some more. How it grows out of the trees and...
Sounds like mice and men. Your name is not Lenny, is it? No.
No, it's Edith.
Edith, of course. Well, it's an old hunting lodge. It's back in a forest. Oh, it's very quiet and peaceful. There is a waterfall, and at night...
Pardon me, sir.
Yes, lady?
Miss Benson is calling you from Chicago.
Oh. Excuse me, Miss...
Oh, just Edith, Andre.
Hello, Nancy, darling. Of course I've missed you. Yes, quite all right.
Well, I just couldn't go to sleep until I found out how your new play opened.
Excuse me. Oh, your show is closing? Oh, that's too bad. Oh, you're glad? Just a minute, darling. George wants to talk to you. He's practically tearing the phone out of my hands. Just a minute, sweet. See you soon.
Hello, Nan. It was sensational. This is it. Oh, yeah? The best. They loved it. Why didn't you throw the bricks out of the walls?
You know what I want, Georgie? Upon your next play. I just read the script, and I'm sure Andre wrote it just for me.
Did you promise her a part in the next one? No.
Well, we'd like to have you. Andre's tried to sell me the idea of you doing the part a dozen times. We'll talk it over. Goodbye, love.
You still stuck on that girl, Dreamboat?
No, I don't think so.
Finney?
Penny.
She wouldn't be bad.
She wouldn't be good either.
Young lady to see her, sir.
Lady, excuse me.
I just decided. You know what we were talking about, that place? Well, I'd like it. I want to be peaceful, too.
I don't. I'm sorry.
I'm terribly sorry. I really didn't mean to interrupt a party.
I thought you would be in bed by now, sound asleep.
I will be if you'll just give me my keys.
Hello, Mary. Beautiful play, Cassio. Beautiful. I wrote a wonderful review. Great phrases.
You've been taken in again, old man.
Best play I've ever written.
Perhaps. Still not very good.
Always kidding.
Poke your fingers into any of my characters. What will you find?
I'm sure I don't know.
I'll tell you. Sawdust. Just sawdust.
Yes, well, I agree with you absolutely.
You also agree that all my situations are phony and unbelievable.
Oh, yes, I do.
Now you're not agreeing just to be polite.
Oh, no, not at all. I agree with you because, well, I agree with you completely. Your people are unreasonable. Everything they do is illogical.
Now, wait. They were in love. And love is unreasonable and illogical.
Oh, but that's not true. Love is very logical. So logical you can prove it in any laboratory. Love is a chemical attraction based on the law governing affinity. Put any two objects with affinity in a test tube and they merge through attraction. It's the simplest formula.
Well, it's all very scientific, I'm sure, but...
But it's true. You just add a lot of rose-colored romance to cloud up what's really happening. Now, after that little lecture, if you'll just give me my purse, I'll go.
Oh, no, I want to talk to you. You see, you are the only person here who knows the truth about my plays. Except myself, of course.
Mr. Casile, you are the worst kind of a faker. You like your plays. You think they're wonderful.
Hey, Dreamboat, wasn't that the babe that fainted in the theater?
Yes, she's no babe. She's a doctor.
Doctor. Women are doing everything these days. I met a girl last week with a tattoo artist. She wanted me to sit still for a portrait of Gibraltar.
You know what the doctor thinks, Georgie? She thinks love is something you make in a test tube.
Strep.
Strep.
Couldn't be Vincent's, could it?
Afraid not.
Chief said it looked like a strep case, but I insisted on treating it for Vincent's.
Well, you better change your treatment.
Will you tell him? He'll only give me one of those looks.
Sure, go on back to your patient.
Thanks.
Good morning, Dr. Gunther.
Good morning, Dr. Alexander.
Dr. Wade decided you were right about 410. It is strep.
Streptococcus.
Streptococcus.
Decided that for himself?
Yes, he just checked another slide.
Take him off the case, Dr. Alexander. He should have checked it last night.
But, Dr. Gunther, it's a very slight infection. It might have been Vincent.
Don't defend it, Doctor.
All right, I'll put Dr. Milner on the case right away.
Good.
Call Dr. Milnick and tell him to take over 410. And tell Dr. Wade I want to see him after his round. Oh, there's a patient waiting in your office. Dr. Milnick, please. Good morning.
Oh, hello. I came to see you do it.
What?
Make love with the test tube. You know, you said you put in 2 people.
Mr. Casile, I'm very busy. You know, we're not allowed social calls to the hospital.
Oh, this is not a social call, Dr. Alexander. I didn't sleep 1 wink all night thinking about what you told me.
Good morning, Dr. Gunther.
Good morning, nurse. Is Dr. Alexander busy?
Yes, Dr. Gunther, she is. She has a patient.
Fine. May I come in, Dr. Alexander?
Oh, yes, certainly, Dr. Gunther. This is Dr. Gunther, our Chief of Staff, Mr. Andre Casile.
How do you do?
How are you, Mr. Casile?
Never felt better in my life. That is, until last night. Yes, last night, I just went to pieces.
What seems to be your trouble, Mr. Casile?
I believe it's my heart, Doctor. Yes, I find it very, very difficult to go to sleep.
I see. You don't mind if I watch your examination of the patient, do you, Dr. Alexander?
Why, no, not at all. I think probably Mr. Casile would rather come back when he has more time.
Oh, just as well get it over while I'm here. Don't you think so, Doctor?
Dr. Alexander's my assistant. I like to watch these young ones, see their methods. They sometimes can teach us old fellows a thing or two.
Oh, I don't doubt that about Dr. Alexander at all.
Nurse, will you take Mr. Casile's coat, please? You say you're having a little trouble with your heart.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, I think probably it's occupational disease. He probably overworks it.
Yes, I know. I've seen many of your plays, Mr. Casile. Very interesting, very amusing.
Thank you, sir.
Will you take off your tie, please?
Oh, of course, tie.
I don't think that he reports any very interesting symptoms. Could be pure imagination.
Yes, cardiac hysteria is rather a common thing these days.
Will you open your shirt, please?
I'm sure I'm going to feel much better.
No talking,
sorry.
please. Very unusual. Would you like to listen to it, Dr. Gunther?
No. You go ahead.
It's cold.
No talking, please.
Oh, really?
I'm afraid so.
Did you hear anything good?
Do you drink very much, Mr. Castillo?
No. Maybe a little wine. Sometimes a little brandy.
Dr. Alexander may have to stop all that.
Yes, Dr. Alexander certainly will. How much sleep do you average, Mr. Castillo?
Oh, very little at night. But quite a bit in the morning.
Yes, hands, please. Early evening hours are the best, aren't they, Dr. Gunther?
They certainly are. I thought that might be true. All in good time.
Sorry.
Have you ever been on a diet, Mr. Castillo?
No. I always say it's not what you eat, but with whom you eat. Isn't that so, Doctor?
Well, philosophers say the best part of a good dinner is a good companion.
Here you are.
Would you hop up and down on one foot, please?
Oh.
I really think it's a matter of fatigue.
Too much work.
Too much play. All right, you stop that now.
This part I like very much.
No talking, please.
Sorry.
Mr. Castillo, I would suggest for the time being that you give up liquor, not play so hard, and get more sleep. Later on, if it seems necessary, we'll have a thorough examination.
Want to do it now, Doctor?
Oh, of course we believe in a complete diagnosis. If the patient is ready, Doctor, I'm sure it'd be better to do it all at once.
Thank you, Dr. Gunter. You don't know how helpful you've been.
You step this way, please.
And I will look at all of your reports.
Thank you.
Well, I guess you're stuck with him. Let's see you get stuck. Give him the works. Everything? Everything. We'll start off by taking some blood from his arm for the lab.
I'm waiting, Dr. Alexander.
Oh, don't be a baby. Give me your other arm.
There's the card.
Your grateful patient with undying gratitude. Send him down to that woman in 353. Nobody ever sends her flowers.
Nobody ever sent us any before.
What's this?
Books?
His books.
Did he write anything in them?
He wrote the book, that's enough.
So you don't mind if I keep just one of these roses for my office, do you?
Yes, I certainly do mind.
Very selfish. But I'm glad you want them all.
Why, Mr. Castillo, what are you doing up so early in the morning?
Well, yesterday you stabbed me, you punched me, you listened to me tick, so today I'm back to find out. How am I?
Disgustingly healthy. You'll probably live to a ripe old age unless somebody shoots you.
And that's liable to happen any minute.
Oh, my favorite author.
Mr. Castillo. Mr. Castillo. You don't need to come here anymore.
Oh, I'm coming here every day.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh, I wouldn't if I were you. Hello, floor desk.
Dining together tonight? Tomorrow night?
Hello. This is Dr. Alexander calling. I have a patient, Mr. Castillo. Oh, you already know Mr. Castillo. Well, he's not to be allowed to come to my office again. He's cured. Yes. And if he insists, would you please have him shown to psychiatry? Yes, that's right, psychiatry.
You wanted in Ward B, Doctor.
Oh, all right. Goodbye, Mr. Castillo. And please see that the patient is removed before I return.
She's not married, is she?
No, she's not even engaged.
Good doctor?
Too good.
No chance for me.
But she hasn't much time for it. 5 nights a week, she's on emergency calls. Anne loves it.
Emergency? Well, I'll do the best I can.
Doctor, Lucy won't help us today at all.
Why, Lucy.
Now, all you have to do, Lucy, is let Dr. Alexander see your tongue.
Oh, come on, Lucy, now. You're not afraid. You're too big a young lady to act like a little...
Oh, I'm sorry, but your technique is terrible. May I?
Certainly. Nurse, Mr. Cassile is supposed to have quite a way with the women.
Andre Cassile?
How do you do?
I'm afraid Lucy is a little young for your charms to be effective.
Age doesn't matter. Did anybody ever tell you that you were a nice, very, very nice little girl? Because you're not.
See, Doctor, it's very badly coated.
Uh-huh. That would be quite enough, Mr. Cassile.
How was that?
It was fine. If you don't catch Lucy's mumps.
Want me to go with you, Doc?
No, thanks. I'll call you if I need to. Did someone call for an ambulance?
Good evening, Dr. Alexander.
Is this your idea of a joke?
No. Dr. Gunter's prescription. He said I should have for dinner a pleasant companion.
You know, you really ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Well, in a way I am. But I've tried everything else I know. Theater tickets, opera tickets, 2-page telegrams, perfume. Don't even wear it.
Did you know by any chance that it's a criminal offense to put in a false ambulance call?
Oh, no, I had to see you.
I have a good mind to turn you right over to the police.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you would be angry. But you see, all I'm asking you is 1 hour out of your life. You probably will live over 350,000 more hours. See? Figured it all out. It's very scientific. All I ask is a tiny little hour.
Why don't you stop annoying the lady?
Now, why don't you start minding your own business?
Hey, boys!
Now we're going to the hospital, and we're going to live happily ever after.
Now we're going to MacArthur's gym. I'm going to get Mike to give you a few boxing lessons.
There were 2 of them.
That is no excuse for leading with your right.
Of course, I know you don't like it, but you're having a good time.
I like to dance.
Is that all?
Mm-hmm. I used to dance a lot.
Really? Sounds very frivolous, but it proves I was right.
Doesn't prove a thing.
No?
No, decidedly no.
Sure?
We've been out now 5 or 6 times. We've dined and we've danced. Still, no rosy-colored clouds.
It's too soon. Speaking of clouds, I have a place in the country I'd like you to see.
Hey,
It's an old hunting lodge, way back in the forest.
is that where you write your plays?
Well, not exactly. It's too nice for work. The house seems to come right out of the trees. Oh, it's very quiet and peaceful.
Sounds like an ideal place to write your plays.
There is a waterfall. You can hear it from the house at night.
He's with the doctor again. Is Andre writing a play about a hospital, George?
Right now, he's not writing a play at all. He's making one.
Dr. Alexander, there's a call for you. It's from the hospital. You may take it at your table.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, yes, Miss Glennon. Yes? Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Look, I'll come right over in about 10 minutes. Yes, will you have everything ready for me? Right. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. It's an emergency. I always get them when I'm having the most fun.
Oh, I'll go with you.
Certainly not. You stay here. I might be hours. Thank you. wanted you to know I wanted you to be waiting there.
I was afraid you'd be tired.
I am tired. I never felt so wonderful in my whole life. Don't ask me to explain that. It's the only real pay a doctor ever gets. They said she wouldn't live, but she did. They both lived, and I knew they would.
I've never seen you look like this before.
I never felt like this before. Dr. Gunther was there. He said, I will them alive. He told me to go home and not to come back for 2 weeks. I'm so sorry. I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell anybody. Anybody but you. And you were waiting right here.
I'll always be waiting.
No, just kind of surprised at myself. Don't mind my saying that. It's something I never thought I'd do, never.
But I'm very happy you changed your mind.
Darling, I'm not being silly about it, am I?
No, you're being very sweet. We'll be all alone there.
Nobody will even know we're there, will they?
Nobody but the people who take care of the place. You don't have to worry about them.
You think I'd better make up 2 rooms?
No, Martha. He said over the telephone he was bringing his bride up here. That means till death do them part. So don't you go taking the place of Providence.
Well, I hope it's true. It's about time he settled down.
Well, I don't know. We've had a lot of fun here. You remember the time the 3 of them showed up at once? We certainly played hide and seek that weekend.
You ought to think shame of yourself, you men.
We had to do a lot of fancy conniving. The only way we could get him out of the house was to say that he had to go to a fire. He wore my helmet and carried my axe.
And he certainly looked silly, too.
Oh, indeed he did.
I wonder which one of them he married.
Well, no, if it was me, I think I'd fancy the Benson girl. Yes, the Benson girl, that's the one. That is, if it was me was doing it.
You know, I kind of thought you were trying to show off a bit when she was here last time.
No, I was doing nothing of the kind. I was just being pleasant and friendly, that's all.
Too pleasant. And a little bit too friendly. Talking every chance you got instead of minding your own business. Yes, Miss Benson, and indeed, Miss Benson.
Martha, you have a jealous streak and you're 1.5 feet wide.
I don't see anything in you to be jealous of.
Now you know you're just as crazy about me as you were the day I put the ring on your finger. Oh, there they are.
Oh, I'd better go get a clean apron.
Here, take that in your hand, like a good girl.
Oh.
Hello, Timothy. How are you, Mr. Tressilian? Congratulations to you, sir. And to you, too.
Thank you, Timothy. She's wonderful, but a little bit heavy.
Hello, Timothy.
Well, this is a surprise. Quite a surprise, I must say. Well, sir, you've certainly done very well for yourself.
Thank you, Timothy. Now, what about some wine?
It's all ready, sir. You'll have it in 2 minutes.
What a nice house, Andre.
What a nice wife to live in it. My wife. Sounds kind of new, but I suppose I'll get used to it. My wife.
My husband sounds kind of new, too. Nice and new and warm.
Well, I never laid eyes on her before, but she's not bad.
What does she look like?
Well, she's kind of little, but not too little. Shakes hands like a man, but looks you straight in the eye when she talks to you. Kind of friendly like.
I think I'd better carry those glasses in for you.
Aye, but you're terrible nosy. However, come on. Martha, bring me 2 glasses.
I'm coming, Timothy.
This is the missus.
Martha, this is my wife.
How do you do, Martha?
She couldn't wait till dinner time to see you. And when she got your message over the phone, her eyes popped out like hen's eggs.
Were you surprised, Martha?
Oh, everybody marries sooner or later, seems to me. Nothing to be surprised about.
Well, it was a surprise to us.
Well, my congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Martha.
Let me know when you want supper, Mrs. Casile.
Oh, please, Mrs. Casile. Martha wants to know what time you want your supper. Mrs. Casile.
That's me.
Sounded good, too, Mrs. Casile.
Sound fine.
Kind of gave up thinking there was ever going to be anybody around to call that to.
Come on, Mrs. Casile. I'm going to show you our waterfalls. You can see them from the porch.
You.
Oh, dear, oh, dear. Miss Sarah Peggy and Flatty's widow was Dublin's queen. Oh, that's Russ and Rosie and Mary on equally thrilling how they were when I took... Hello? Oh, yes, this is the Casile place. What? No, I'm sorry. Mr. Casile is not here.
Well, if the place is empty, I'll come up and spend the night. Why, this is Miss Denson, Timothy.
What? Where are you?
I'm at the railway station. I'll have the station agent drive me right over.
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I was you. No, I wouldn't do it if I was you. I tell you he's not here. And furthermore... Oh, you know that he is. Oh, well, that makes it rather awkward, doesn't it?
Who is it, Timothy?
It's for you, sir. A certain party. Yes, he's just come in.
But just tell him I'm not to be disturbed.
Oh, but I can't tell him that. And he's going to disturb you quite a lot, sir. It's the old chief.
What chief? What chief do you mean?
The old chief. Fire Chief Benson.
Fire chief? What in the world would have... Oh, the Fire Chief Benson.
Oh, that's what I said, sir. Fire Chief Benson. And he's very excited.
Oh.
He seems to be heading up this way.
What's he coming here for?
Oh, you might just drop in. He does from time to time. We talk about fires. Everybody belongs to the volunteer fire departments in the country.
That sounds like fun.
Well, sometimes it is, ma'am, and sometimes it isn't.
Is there fire now?
There's smoke, ma'am. Oh, it's quite a lot of smoke.
Hello? Yes? How are you, Chief?
Hello, Pappy. What's going on up there? I just got back to New York tonight. The show closed in Chicago Saturday. And, Pappy, I have so many things to tell you. Come on down and get me.
Oh, no, I'd love to, Chief, but I'm on my honeymoon. Just got married today, yes? Hmm? No, nobody you know, darling. Darling girl, Chief. He thought I was calling him darling. Yes, Chief?
Say, stop calling me Chief. No, I don't believe it, and I won't until I see the bride and the wedding license. I'll be right up there.
No, wait. Chief, if that's the way you feel, I certainly will do my duty. I'll be right over. You can count on me. Well, I'll have to go.
Is there a fire in the depot, sir?
Very bad one, too. I'm sorry, darling. Community duty, you know.
Sidney, you better hurry.
If it was our house, all the neighbors would come to help us, so we have to go to help them.
You see, if we didn't, they wouldn't. And you never know when a fire will break out in a place like this. So we need all the help we can get.
I'll be back soon.
No, wait, I want to go with you.
No. They don't let women go. They wouldn't like it, would they?
Oh, the chief would hit the roof, ma'am, if you showed up.
All right, please be careful.
I will.
And get it under control as soon as you can.
Don't worry, Timothy. I will.
And don't take any foolish chances, Andre.
And don't get burned.
I won't. I promise. Well, Nancy, what's the idea?
It isn't true.
Of course it is.
Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, come
Why?
on. Stop acting.
Why?
Oh, come
Why?
on. Stop acting.
Why? What will all my friends say?
They'll congratulate you. They'll say you are a very lucky girl. What is this? I never talked about marriage to you, did I?
There are some things you don't have to talk about. things that are just understood.
Oh, go ahead and cry, darling. But remember, I directed you in 5 plays, so I know all your tricks. If you insist, I can sit here and watch your performance until you collapse, but I will not fall for it.
How dare you do this to me? Why, for 4 years I've gone...
Hadn't you better go to bed, Mrs. Casile? Timothy will wait up for him.
Just trying to see if I can see any flames.
Flames. They ought to be ashamed of themselves, the pair of them.
Why, Martha?
Well, this is no night for him to be running off to one of his fires.
Hello, operator. I want to find out how bad the fire is.
Fire?
The one in the depot.
I haven't heard about it, but I'll connect you with the depot.
Hello. What? Fire? Don't seem to be. Who? Yeah, he's here, talking with some young lady. I can get him for you in just... Oh, you don't? Oh. All right, ma'am. Goodbye.
There's a train in a few minutes. Sure you don't want to take it?
Let me sleep at your place tonight. I'll sleep on the couch in the living room. I won't disturb a soul, I promise. And in the morning, I'll just steal away. Don't worry about me, Andre. I'll be all right just as soon as I get back to work again. A new play, new interests.
Oh, you mean you would be too busy to worry about other people's business?
A part I could really get my teeth into. Something dramatic.
Oh, you mean like the part of Mary in my new play?
I could dream of playing a part like that.
It's yours. Report to Hastings in the morning.
Oh, Pappy! And I found the most terrific dress for my entrance. It's blue velvet with a gold tape border and a wrap.
You could have saved a lot of time. One more way to New York, please.
Pappy, you're a lamb, and I'll see you at rehearsal, and I hope you'll be very, very happy.
Thank you, darling. Here you are.
Goodbye, Pappy.
Goodbye.
She's still waiting.
Good.
Here, hold on a minute. You don't look like a man that's just come from a fire. Here, stoop down, sir. There we are.
Hello, darling. Sorry I was so long.
Tell me all about it. Was it bad?
Oh, very stubborn blaze. Oh, very hard to get under control. Thank you, darling. It's all out now.
Nothing left but ashes, huh?
Nothing.
I could see the flames from the upstairs window.
Huh? Oh, you could see them.
Want some wine? Your throat must be very dry.
Yes, very.
No, you sit down. I'll get it. You're probably exhausted.
I feel fine, really, I do.
This is so hot. Oh, I hope you didn't get too near the flames.
Oh, no. I was very careful about that.
Pretty fast.
Well, the effect you have on me, darling.
Might be the suspense.
Suspense?
Yes, you weren't quite sure whether I believed your fire chief story.
Didn't fool you, eh?
Not for long. Oh, darling, you didn't have to go to so much trouble. You could have told me the truth. Were you afraid I'd be jealous?
Well, it was sort of the idea.
But I'm never jealous.
Most women are.
Oh, that's because they don't understand it. You know, jealousy is a very simple thing. Physiologically, it's merely the adrenal glands pumping adrenaline into the bloodstream. Of course, it has a psychological trigger. Yeah, like that, which sets the glands working. Oh, but that's a hangover from caveman days and has no place in a civilized mind.
You really believe all that?
Why, certainly I believe it. Listen, if you ever catch me being jealous, I give you leave to put on your tiger skin, pick up your club, and beat me back to my senses.
Oh, might be fun.
Yes, I'll never give you the chance to find out. No, I might be a bad wife to you in a lot of ways, but I promise you I'll never go primitive on you.
I like bad wives. You tired?
Not a bit. Want to go for a walk?
I certainly do not want to go for a walk.
No, neither do I.
Hello? Hello? This is the cashier place. Who? I'm afraid you have the wrong number. Everybody here is in fine health. There's no doctor here and we don't want one. I'm sorry, but I never heard of him. Calling a Dr. Alexander.
Oh, wait, Timothy, that's me.
Hello? Yes, Dr. Gunther? Yes? Oh, really, I'm terribly sorry. Is there anything serious? Yes, of course I can. Wait, just 1 minute. Is there a train back to town tonight?
No. What's wrong?
I have to get back to the hospital. Hello? Dr. Gunther, we'll have to drive in. Well, we ought to get there in a couple of hours. I'll make it as soon as I can. Oh, no, certainly not. It's perfectly all right. Good night. Dr. Edward has been hurt, and I have to get back and take over his cases.
Tonight?
Yes, and I have to get dressed.
But, darling, this is our honeymoon.
I know, I'm terribly sorry, but we have to go, and we have to hurry.
She's sure enough a doctor?
Yes.
And she has to go out looking after sick people.
Yes.
It's lucky you both stayed up so late. It'd be a terrible thing to have to wake her up from a nice, sound sleep.
Save these. Mrs. Kane may want to see them.
Yes, sir. If I'd known you were returning tonight, sir, I would have arranged something very special.
Perfectly all right, dearie. Everything is wonderful. Let me know the minute Mrs. Castle gets in. I'll start getting dressed.
Yes, sir. What time will dinner be, sir?
Oh, I don't know. We'll wait for it.
I'll tell cook to be sure to be ready, sir.
Ready, Miss?
Oh, it will be, sir. Had we have known you were arriving today, sir, it would have been something. You can't see the puddle? Who? Oh, yes, madam. From where? Just a moment, please.
Come in.
Mrs. Castillo, sir. She's home.
Good. Tell her I'll be right out.
She's on the telephone, sir.
All right. Once she gets through.
But she's not here, sir.
I thought you said she was home.
That's what she said on the phone, sir.
I don't get it.
Neither do I, sir. Perhaps you'd better talk to her, sir.
Hello? Yes, of course. Where are you, darling? Home? But I'm home.
Yes, you're home, and I'm home, too. On the 22nd floor. Of course, it's in the same building. I took an apartment. Oh, now, darling, don't say that. It's my idea of the one to keep our marriage perfect.
I'll be right up. 22. What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. Just because a man walks into the elevator to shave don't mean a thing to me. The rule is you don't interfere with the tenants. You just them up and bring them down. 22, please.
Fixed up before you saw it. Isn't it nice?
I don't like it. I don't like anything about it.
Oh, Andre, now be reasonable. You know, I spent my whole lunch hour getting this and fixing it up and moving in.
You mean you're going to live here?
Well, yes, of course I'm going to live here.
All right, then I'm going to live here with you.
Oh, no, that would spoil the plan.
Oh, it would? Are you going to live with me in my apartment or not?
No.
All right.
You see, But, darling, you haven't given me a chance to explain how ideally this can work.
I can see that without having you explain. Excuse me.
Down.
17.
You're not being fair.
17.
At least you might listen to the reason for it.
17.
I don't know where you got such ideas.
Wait until we get inside, please.
Now, what's wrong with this place?
Nothing.
It's large. I like it. That's where I live. If you don't like it, I'll get another one.
Darling, that's not the idea. Listen, you've got to be reasonable.
I want to be reasonable. But there is no reason in the world for me to live in one.
Many reasons.
I don't want to hear any of them.
All right, if you don't want to listen to me, I'll just go upstairs and get dressed.
Who ever heard of a bird building two nests?
In this case, it happens to be very necessary. 22.
I don't see any necessity at all.
Talk about it later, please.
I never understood. This is 20.
It isn't bad enough that you have to go to the hospital.
22.
Darling, I don't want to upset you.
I'm not upset at all. I just don't like that kind of joke.
But it isn't a joke. Please don't be difficult about something. It's very sensible and very sound. Now, look, will you just listen to me?
I suppose so.
All right. When we were married, you knew that I was a doctor and that I was going on with my work.
Yes, but I didn't know I would have to make an appointment every time I wanted to see you.
Please, let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
No. I have to be at the hospital at all hours. Sometimes I come in so tired I don't want to see anybody. Sometimes I get called at 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I work all night and sleep all day. Now, really, you couldn't possibly fit your life into that crazy kind of routine.
I only know one thing. When a man marries a woman, it is because he wants to be married to her.
You'll be married to me, and I'll be married to you. The only difference is that I'll be free to do my work, and you'll be free to do your work. Now, really, isn't that a very sensible plan?
No.
Why? Why isn't it sensible?
Because it's like that test tube idea of yours. It figures out everything but human relationships.
Andre, look. The most important thing is for our marriage to last.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, I think the most important thing is for our marriage to begin. It will not begin until you come home. And home is where the husband lives. That's the law.
The law? Oh, really, that's very funny.
$17.
Shall we wait for 22B?
No. I suppose you think I'm crazy.
Now, wait a minute, mister. I didn't say a word. You can't report me. When I took this job, they told me, whatever the tenants do, that's their own business. If you want to be crazy, that's all right with me. 17. Watch your step.
Cassie. Cassie. What is it? It's Mrs. Castillo, sir. She's come to have breakfast with you.
What?
Your wife, sir. She's here for breakfast.
Breakfast?
What time is it? It's almost 7:15, sir. Almost 7:15.
In the morning? Get out of here before I kill you.
Yes, sir. Shall I tell Madam you're not accustomed to having breakfast before 12, sir?
Tell her... Never mind, I'll tell her myself. Get me a robe.
Yes, sir. I woke the cook up, sir, and breakfast will be ready in a few minutes.
Stop talking about breakfast. 7:15.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope I'm not too early.
No, I always get up in the middle of the night to have breakfast.
It's going to be fun. We can have breakfast together every morning.
Every morning.
I promise.
Same time.
You see, this gives me plenty of time to get down to the hospital at 7:30. Mornings you're dressed, you can walk down with me. Well, it isn't far, only a mile.
Oh, that would be interesting, too, to walk around all by ourselves at 7:30 in the morning. I shall look forward to that.
Have you thought about last night?
No, I thought about it a lot last night, though.
I'm sorry we quarreled. Oh! Here is the key to my apartment. I already had the one to yours.
That's marvelous. You have everything figured out.
I'll tell you all about it at dinner tonight.
Dinner seems so far away.
Will Madam have oatmeal?
Yes, and lots of cream.
Will you have oatmeal, sir? Yeah. No, I thought not, sir.
See, this is the only meal I can be really sure of. Usually I don't have time for lunch. By the time I get home for dinner, I'm too tired for it.
Yes.
What are your plans for the day?
The day? Oh, you mean today? Now.
Sausage and eggs, sir.
Coffee. Strong coffee.
Yes, sir.
I thought maybe if I could get time off for lunch, I could meet you at that little restaurant where we had our first date.
Oh, that's a very romantic idea.
I feel romantic today. It's our first breakfast together. All right, then I'll pick you up at the theater and we'll have lunch. After that, I have an ulcer operation.
Married a monster.
What?
I said I married a monster.
This better be good.
It's very bad. My wife eats breakfast at 7 in the morning. Ham, eggs, oatmeal. Then she walks to work, 1 mile. And if I'm dressed, she's going to let me walk with her. What can I do?
Shoot her.
I love her.
Then shoot yourself.
Oh, now, George, please be serious now.
At 8 o'clock in the morning?
Not only that, she has her own apartment, 5 floors up.
Say that again, slowly.
She lives on the 22nd floor. I live on the 17th floor. And she won't come down.
She won't?
No. And I won't go up.
What do you want me to do? You don't need a producer, you need a lawyer.
No, just some silly idea she has about marriage. 2 people have to be 2 people. She has her work.
Can she work and be married, too?
Yes, but she wants her own apartment.
No, I think I get it. You live your life and I live mine. Well, that's... Go ahead and live your life. She'll get so jealous she'll turn into a human fly and crawl down the outside of the building.
She doesn't believe in jealousy.
She's got to believe in something. Look here. Act 1, wife won't play house. Act 2, husband makes wife jealous. Act 3, they wind up at each other's arms. Curtain falls. Dreamboat, it's a cinch. It's sure fire.
Too old-fashioned. Go back to sleep.
I'm going to see your husband tonight. I'm going to tell him everything. I'm going to tell him I can't let you stay here. And I'm not going to let you stay here.
He's not holding me right.
Oh, go ahead. Try the kiss, will you? That's the business. You might as well get used to it.
He's got a half Nelson on me.
You know, you have to be very ardent in this scene. If you don't start playing it at rehearsals, it's going to be very hard to get up to it later on.
Well, if he'd look at me instead of sticking his puss around my shoulder to show that profile of his.
That profile is what they pay to see, my dear.
Now, please. Let me show you the positions and how to time the scene. Come on, Nessie, try it with me.
With you, Pappy? A pleasure.
Stop calling me Pappy and give me the cue. Come on, please.
I knew you'd come back. That's why I didn't change. No matter how many years I had to wait for you, I knew you'd be just the same.
Oh, Mary, my dear little Mary. Oh, hello, darling. I'll be with you in just a minute, darling. That's what I meant, Ferguson.
See the difference?
Yes, but you and Andre have had many more rehearsals.
Time for lunch.
I thought I'd give the doc a little glimpse of backstage life.
Oh. Is this Mrs. Casillo?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Mr. Ferguson, Miss Nancy Benson.
How do you do?
I'm very happy to meet you.
Thank you.
I must congratulate Andre all over again.
Oh, thank you very much. This is very fascinating to me. I've never seen backstage before.
It is a very, very difficult scene.
Oh, we don't have to go now. I'd love to see you rehearse some more.
Oh, no, darling, we better go.
Look at Pappy. He's blushing.
I'm blushing myself. You play it that way on opening night, the police will close us down.
I thought it was very moving and sweet.
Ready, darling? We'll start on the same scene at 3:30.
3:30, eh, Pappy?
Yes, 3:30, Miss Benson. Do you know that we are celebrating our 48th wedding anniversary?
Oh, what?
48 hours.
Oh. And we've done nothing but quarrel.
Nothing.
Coffee, sir?
Please. Thank you. Jane, I've been thinking a lot about us since breakfast.
So have I.
Tonight we'll have dinner together in my apartment.
We'll have dinner there every night. That was part of the plan.
We'll have breakfast there, too.
Of course we will. I want to be with you as much as I possibly can. Alec! Michael! It's not
This
true.
is a rare piece of good fortune.
I don't believe it.
Just stopped the plane about half an hour ago. Called the hospital 3 times. Wandered in here to try and drown my despair. And here you are at my very feet.
Maybe. Michael,
I was going to write you 1,000,000 times. But you know I never write letters. And anyway, you never answer them. Pardon me, old fellow. You don't mind, do you? I thought of a dozen ways to lure you to Brazil, but I knew you wouldn't come.
Michael.
What have you been doing? You look peaked.
Michael, will you please stop? I'm trying to introduce Mr. Casillo.
How do you do? And you mustn't be busy tonight. You have to run me all over New York. I want to see everything that's going on. I want to go to all the old places we used to go to. That is if they're
Casillo
still
is my
open.
husband.
Oh, that's very nice, yes. And don't make any excuses about that hospital. Let the people die. She did say her husband, didn't she?
Yes, she did say her husband.
Yes, Michael, we are married.
I don't like that at all. I walk around the corner, go to Brazil, and the moment my back is turned, you marry the first beggar who comes along. Pardon me, old fellow.
Surely, I know what you mean.
Michael, Mr. Casillo is the Mr. Casillo, the very famous one who writes the plays.
Don't tell me you married him for that reason. I'm famous, too. She never married me. Said she was never going to get married, and I was gentleman enough to believe her. But if she was going to get married, I certainly think she should have married me. I saw you first, you know. You don't mind, old fellow?
Not at all.
I think you made a great mistake in getting married at all. A brilliant career in medicine, your own life, might have turned out to be a great doctor.
But I'm still practicing.
Can't even support you, huh?
Now, wait, my friend.
Oh, no, Michael.
I don't
that's
see what you want
not...
to live in New York for anyway. Much better off as a doctor on one of my expeditions. Much more excitement than this. Really have a chance to try new things, get new microbes, go into jungles, sail the 7 seas, fight epidemics with one hand, natives with the other, and you pass all that up for marriage here in New York, living in a little cooped-up apartment.
2 apartments.
All right, 2 apartments, 6 apartments. What difference does it make? Why 2 apartments?
It's a long story, and we don't want to go into it now. You know, Michael is an explorer. He goes all kinds of weird places, meets all kinds of weird people.
Don't have to go very far. I'll meet them everywhere. 2 apartments.
Michael used to be a patient of mine, didn't you, Michael?
You bet I was. That's why I'm back here. Devil lot of fun having Jamie for a doctor, old fellow. You a patient of hers, too? I'll never forget those rubs. Used to put me to sleep like the dead.
Why don't you try one now?
Michael, it's been lovely seeing you, and we must get together if you're going to be in town for long. But in the meantime, I really have to run. I'm very late to the hospital.
Always running off to the hospital. You ought to break her of that habit. Why don't you take her out of the hospital?
Now, look.
Because I don't want to be taken out of the hospital.
Oh, all right. I'll drive you over there. I want to talk to her about doing a broadcast. Oh, it's quite all right. You don't have to sing. Very scientific. You don't mind, do you, old fellow?
Do you really want to know what I think?
Look, Michael, I'll talk to you about it later. Goodbye for now.
Righto. Oh, by the way, you know, while I'm still in the States, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to break up your marriage. Don't say I didn't warn you, old fellow.
You're making a very good start.
Oh, I'll do much better than this. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. If he had said old fellow one more time, I think I would have killed him with my bare hands.
It's a good thing you didn't try it because he has muscles like an ox.
Oh. He has muscles like an ox.
He's really very nice, Andre.
It's a matter of whether or not you like oxes.
Oxen.
Oxen. Terrible word. Seems to do very well here, though.
He's quite fascinating, too. You know, he's been all over.
Why doesn't he go back to all over?
You'll change your mind when you get to know him better.
I don't want to know him better.
Andre, don't shout. He's just a patient of mine with a very interesting fever.
Very interesting.
Taking care of him is only part of my job.
Waiter. Check, please.
Yes.
After all, it's just the same as your kissing that Benson girl. That didn't mean a thing to you, did it?
Of course not.
Oh, you see? Now, I've really got to go. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye.
Thank you for this luncheon, Pappy.
What time did Mrs. Cassil say she'd be here?
Around about 9:30, sir, if she can get away from the hospital.
9:30? Good.
She regrets being unable to keep her appointment for dinner with you, sir, but one of her patients requires constant care tonight.
Oh, yes, I know.
Some of the 1926 vintage, sir.
Oh, no, not wine. Cognac.
Yes, sir. You pardon my noting it, sir, but don't you think wine would be safer in case Madame hasn't dined tonight?
Yes, possibly, but this is not for Mrs. Cassil. It is for a lady who has dined.
Are you expecting someone else, sir?
Yes, Miss Meredith.
Tonight, sir?
Mm-hmm. In a few minutes.
But aren't there possibilities of complications, sir?
You think so?
Well, it's very likely, sir.
I hope you're right. Answer it. We mustn't keep the lady waiting.
Yes, sir. Oh, excuse me, sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
Hello, Edith.
Hello. I hope I'm not late. I had such an awful time getting away.
I'm so glad to see you again.
Well, I couldn't believe my ears when you telephoned.
Just got back to town yesterday.
Oh, I'd given you up for lost when I heard you got married. I said, there goes another good man out of circulation, and you know, Andre, there's only a few of them left. Bread and butter.
Huh? Oh, bread and butter.
Oh, nice. Nice and cozy.
I wanted to see you again, because I felt I hadn't been very nice the last time you were here.
Oh, the night the play opened. Oh, yes. Oh, you know, Andre, I've seen your play dozens of times, and I just love it. Oh, you certainly must have had an awful lot of experience to write a play like that.
Is there anything else, sir?
No, that will be all. Would you like to hear some music?
Oh, surely. Put it on. I'll turn off the light. Well, I can hear better in the dark.
Oh.
Oh, you have a wonderful view from here. I have a wonderful view from my place, too. It's on 66th Street.
Yes?
You can see the Hudson River. If you ever get tired of looking at the East River, you can come over to my place and look out my window and see the Hudson River.
Well, it might be a very nice change.
It would be. You're not expecting anybody, are you?
No. Why?
Well, you keep looking at the door as if you're afraid somebody might come in.
Oh, am I? I'm sorry.
Oh, you know, when I look at a fire, it just makes me feel nice and drowsy. I just like to cuddle up.
Would you like a cigarette?
Cigarette? No, I don't smoke much. I don't drink much either, you know. Just once in a while with someone I like very, very much. And then, of course, I won't take one.
You wouldn't mind if I had one, would you?
Oh, no. No, I got absolutely no prejudices. I like people to be natural. And I think men are more fun when they get just a little bit tipsy.
You know, it's very sweet of you to come here, and you know you shouldn't.
Why not? You said you wanted me to come over, so I said to myself, well, I'll come over.
Hello? Oh, I'm so sorry. I always seem to be butting in on your rehearsal. Oh, this fire looks cozy. It's cold outside.
This is my wife.
How do you do?
Darling, this is Miss Meredith, an old friend of mine.
Yes?
I thought you were going to be at the hospital tonight.
No. I just had to give Michael a few shots and then watch the progress of the fever. I didn't see much sense in hanging around the hospital for that.
Well, I guess I better be going. I really have to be going. You see, I'm late for an appointment.
No, please don't go. I only dropped in to say hello. Andre, I'm going on up to change now. You two go on and rehearse. I wish I could stay and watch you. I had a wonderful time watching him this afternoon with Miss Benson. Good night, Miss Merritt. Oh, excuse me.
I want to get out of here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought I'd been around, but this beats me. Say, you didn't marry her on a bet or anything, did you?
Larry, get Miss Meredith's wrap, please. I'm sorry, I'll have to go up to explain.
Go up where?
Just up. Goodbye.
Well, while you're thinking up an explanation for her, will you think of one for me,
I
too?
will.
Thanks. Well, hurry up. Get me out of here before I jump out the window.
Will you come this way, please?
Just a minute. Oh, come on in. I was just changing.
Jane, I wanted to tell you something. You see, we were not really rehearsing downstairs. Miss Meredith is not really an actress.
Oh, really? She's so lovely. She ought to be very good on the stage.
Oh, you think she's attractive, too?
Oh, yes, very.
Well, of course, I haven't known of it.
Hello, fellow. How about a little three-handed game of gin rummy?
I'm keeping Michael here on observation, waiting for you to break. Getting better, too. Andre! Andre, wait. Can't you stay a little while?
If this man is sick, why isn't he at the hospital?
Not until the serum works. He has to stay up and do all the things he does normally. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to judge how effective the treatment is.
I don't like his being here.
Why not? He's a friend of mine. Look, I don't object to your having your friends, like Miss Meredith.
I know you don't. That's the trouble with you.
Oh, Nora, this is simply elegant.
Well, I didn't know what to get you for a wedding present. I looked for something you both could use, but I didn't know him very well.
Well, it's the loveliest nightgown I ever saw. Thank you so much.
My, it's 12 o'clock already. I'd better go down and see how 408's coming out of the evening.
Oh, yes, tell him to keep him perfectly quiet. Absolutely no visitors. And you better call me if he starts coughing again. Thank you so... Nora! There are two of them.
Yeah, one for each apartment.
$22?
No, 17.
17. If you want 17, this is 17.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
No, 22.
Are you sure you don't want to go to 17?
No, 22, please. I thought you were not to interfere with the tenants.
Well, I didn't say a thing. If you want to go to 22, it'll be 22.
Dr. Alexander wanted to be called at 6:45.
Dr. Alexander is at the hospital.
This is the hospital.
What? She checked out at 10:30?
Oh, Henry Medical Center, please, and hurry.
Walking around 10 o'clock in the morning. What are all these people doing up?
I have an idea for a play.
About physical culture?
No, it's about two people.
Culture?
No, it's about two people. They're married.
So?
The husband is very busy.
And?
And the wife. The wife also works. Say, in a factory.
Proletarian stuff. Won't make a nickel.
All right, all right. She has a profession.
Like a doctor?
Oh, no. She's not a doctor. Say, she's a lawyer.
Oh, Portia, modern dress. Well, go on.
I have a phone call to make. I'll be right back. Hello. I'd like to talk to Dr. Alexander, please. She cannot be disturbed. No message. The line is busy.
What does the husband do in this play?
Oh, some job. He's a doctor.
Yeah?
He's home, waiting for his wife, see? It gets to be 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
All right, it's 12 o'clock. What happens? She comes home?
No, she doesn't come home at all.
No? Where was she?
I don't know. I mean, I'll have to figure that out later.
Well, where'd she say she was?
Well, he can't reach her. She's tied up with a client.
Does the sap believe that?
What's that?
The husband.
Oh, is he a sap?
A jerk.
Oh. I'll try that number again, excuse me. Dr. Alexander's office? Can I talk to her, please?
No, she just left with Mr. Daly. I told her you called, Mr. Casile. But they're going to broadcast on the radio. It's a scientific forum that goes on in 10 minutes.
You wish to give the answer. And please state the question as clearly as possible. You ready? First question. Young man almost the center of the studio has a question.
I'd like to ask Dr. Lamar a question. Dr. Lamar, do you believe that the experiments in human refrigeration have proved that dormancy of the cells for an extended period of time at sub-freezing temperature results in complete cellular rejuvenation?
We have only fragmentary reports of such tests. Some biologists maintain that an extended period of dormancy will rehabilitate, if not rejuvenate, tissue that is wearing out or is diseased. But by no means has their contention been proved yet.
Thank you, Dr. Lamar. Next question, please.
I have a question for Dr. Gunther. Is it true, Dr. Gunther, that simple cases of measles still prove fatal among primitive people? And could you tell us why?
The answer is yes to the first part of the question. The primitive man lacks resistance because his system has not had to exercise through generations of infection the functional guards against the disease, which create a certain immunity.
If she would be so kind, I have a question I would like to ask Dr. Alexander. The question is this. Where did you spend last night? You were not at home. You were not at the hospital. Where were you? I'm a husband.
I think the gentleman is in the wrong studio. The Forum of Domestic Affairs is in Studio B.
No, she's busy.
We don't like to clutter up your office.
Oh, that's all right. I love company.
Was she in the hospital last night?
Well, I couldn't say as to that.
Look this way, please.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Hello, Dr. Gunther.
Dr. Gunther, maybe you could tell us something about Dr. Alexander.
I have nothing to say.
Is she going to stay at the hospital?
I have no statements to make at this time.
Thank you. Well, might as well wait around.
Hello. I was just writing my letter of resignation.
I expected as much.
I'm terribly sorry about all the publicity.
Well, it might be worse.
I don't quite see how it could be much worse.
You know, I feel in a way that this may be my fault. Calling you back as I did right after your marriage.
Well, no, it wasn't your fault at all, Dr. Gunther. It was mine for marrying a man who wouldn't keep his bargain. We both agreed that after marriage, two people could act as individuals.
Well, those theories are very interesting.
Well, they could work. If I have faith in him, he ought to have faith in me.
Yes, he should. But faith... At any rate, I'm not going to accept your resignation. If you want a short leave of absence, while to straighten this out? Fine. But your private life, after all, is, well, it has no bearing on your work with us.
Thank you, Dr. Gunther.
That is, well, never mind.
Yes, what is it, Dr. Gunther?
Nothing. I just said we'd forget the, well, I did just want to ask if you, well, last night.
Oh. No, Dr. Gunther, I did not spend last night at the hospital. I have no alibi. It's a good thing I'm not being tried for murder. Well, I guess it's about time for me to confess. Come in, boys. Hello, Pete. I haven't seen you since I was at Bellevue.
That's right, Doc. You've sure been getting famous since then.
Mind if we get a few pictures?
No, not at all. Help yourselves.
I suppose you know why we're here, Doctor.
No, I can't imagine.
Like the rest of the nation, we want to know the answer to that burning question.
Gentlemen, I think Dr. Alexander is not ready yet.
No, it's all right, Dr. Gunther. Now, what is it you want to know?
Well, your husband and about 100 million others would like to know where you spent last night.
Oh. Well, all right, boys, I'll tell you. I spent last night in the apartment of one of the most charming, romantic men in all of New York City.
You wouldn't want to give us his name, would you, Doc?
Gentlemen, do you think I'm a cad? Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Miss Benson.
Hello, Pappy.
Hello, Nancy.
I hear you called off rehearsals for today.
Yes, I did.
What's the matter? Got a cold?
Yes, I have a cold.
It's in your feet. Oh, come on, Pappy. Where's your sense of humor? This isn't serious. It's funny. Why be worried about publicity? I wish that were my face all over the front pages.
I'm not worried about publicity.
Now, don't tell me you're worried about her. She's the kind that tells her husband about the other man. And I thought doctors were supposed to be ethical.
Well, if I hadn't started it with that radio...
Well, I'll admit that wasn't very smart, but... You can't sit around here... You can't sit around here moping about it the rest of your life. Leary, get Mr. Castille's hat.
No, Darlington.
Now, look, Pappy. You write plays. You get your people into all sorts of jams and get them out very convincingly.
Yes, I know,
but the first little thing that happens to you personally, act like a schoolboy caught throwing kisses at his teacher. Oh, come on, Pappy. Come on down to rehearsal. And after a half hour of snapping that whip over us, you'll forget all about it.
Well, maybe you're right. You can get my hat, Leary.
Yes, sir.
You're a good guy, Nancy.
Will you be dining at home tonight, sir?
I suppose so.
He certainly will, with me and about 85 other people.
Oh, party.
But in spades.
Do you think a party's a good idea?
You bet I do. We'll have every cat from Park Avenue and every heel from Broadway. If they're going to talk, give them a chance to talk. Let them get it out of their system. And for Pete's sake, stop playing Hamlet.
Going down?
I suppose you read that she's going on some sort of an expedition to Mexico and getting a divorce or an annulment on the side.
Yes, I read it.
Well, I knew the first time I saw that this thing couldn't last. You didn't have anything in common. That's the trouble. And besides, Pappy, I never did think you were the marrying kind.
That's the trouble. I am.
Really?
Ground floor.
Oh, hello, Dr. Alexander. Hello.
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 How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Oh, fine. We're just going to rehearsals.
Oh, have a good time.
Bring up.
isn't my floor.
It's 17.
I want 22.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you swapped apartments with Mr. Casile. On account of the night you stayed in apartment 17A all night.
You haven't told that to anybody else, I hope.
Oh, no, ma'am. I never interfere in the private affairs of the tenants. That's a rule.
It's a good rule to keep.
Yes, ma'am. But you see, you stayed down there all night, and he stayed up here.
Who stayed up here?
Mr. Casile. He came in with a box of flowers, and I said 17. He said, no, 22. You know, the next day, the janitor told me he found all those flowers on the sidewalk.
Listen, are you sure of what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. I guess he didn't like the flowers.
No, wait a minute. I want to talk
I gotta go now, ma'am, before I interfere with the private affairs of the tenants. Going down.
We'll eat some more hors d'oeuvres.
Right away, Miss
Thank
Benson.
you. Hello, Jennifer. How are you doing?
Nice of you to ask us,
Oh.
Where's Andre?
Over at the bar.
Oh, drowning in sorrow?
Oh, celebrating his freedom. Go and get yourself a drink.
Good evening, Mary.
Good evening, Mrs. Cassie.
Hello, Dr. Alexander. It's so nice of you to come. We really didn't expect you. Andre, look who's here.
There's a doctor in the house, folks. Pretty good, huh?
We really thought you were halfway to Mexico by now, didn't we, Pappy? Larry, get the doctor some wine. I think it's so sweet of you to come and tell us goodbye. It's so much more civilized to be friendly about divorces. And don't you worry about him. He's well on the road to a speedy recovery, aren't you, Pappy?
Will you kindly take your hands off my husband and stop calling him Pappy?
Now, honey, don't start getting jealous.
And I'm not going to get a divorce.
Grab one, you'll need it.
22, please.
We better wait. There's somebody else.
Never mind waiting.
Margaret! Now, what is this nonsense? You're not... Now, tell me, what is the meaning of your...
Now, what was it you wanted to tell me about?
Now, when everything is over, you finally take notice of your husband. Behave like a kid woman.
Don't shout.
You come downstairs in front of all my friends. Why did you come downstairs?
To tell you where I spent that night.
I don't care where you spent that night.
Oh, don't you?
No. You were where you wanted to be, and I was where I wanted to be.
Where?
Waiting for the only woman I ever loved, or will love.
Oh, darling.
Why, darling?
Well, you see, while you were upstairs in my apartment, I was downstairs in your apartment.
I don't care where. In my apartment?